first things first, you got your zucchini. I'm gonna go spray these off. You definitely wanna do that. Get you a good knife. This is the knife I'll be using. It's one from my personal collection. I like it because of this back piece. Although that back piece can be, you know, pretty dangerous if you don't know what you're doing, because your hand is right here. So you can really cut yourself quickly on this, and it's just as sharp as the rest of the blade. But I love it. So it's like it's a duo glide knife. So you can kind of just rock it back and forth. All right, so I'll be right back. Take me 2 seconds to rinse these off. All right, so I think today I'm gonna cut these into more like a chip, but I'm also gonna show you too how to cut it into a fry. All right, so zucchini fries. This is zucchini. Like I said, I'm gonna show you 2 different ways how to cut it into a chip and how to cut it into a fry. First things first, so you cut the ends off, and like I said, you can cut it just like this, and cut it into chips, and then you get these perfect little rings. Sometimes you gotta go back over a couple of them if they're too thick. And then these ends, which is what your squash blossoms start from. This is the root. We just toss that, okay? So you want to cut both your ends off. That's the end, just like on a potato. Now, if you were to do this the other way, and you were to cut this into like a fry, you're gonna have to cut it in half, okay? Once you cut it in half, you can keep cutting it in half. You can make these short, wide, skinny, however you prefer. I like them just like French fries. And I'm a little weird about my fry texture. I like my fry texture a little flimsy. So zucchini fries are really great for me because they fry kind of soft, unless you do like a lot of people do when they fry things. You fry them, you put them on some sort of pan, and stick them in the oven as you're cooking. So that kind of keeps them constantly crispy. Keeps them warm too. So show you that way, different texture, and then we got the zucchini ring. Which way do you guys prefer? You guys like zucchini fries? You eat them? I know Carrabba's sells them. That's really where I get them the most, and I love them. They also make like a garlic aioli, which we're gonna do today, but I have garlic, sriracha, and mahella seasoned, which gives it a little spice, kind of gives it almost like that Creole remoulade taste. So if you ever have remoulade with a crab cake, it kind of tastes like that. All right, so I'm gonna finish cutting these fries since we've already started. And then I'm gonna take the rest of this and I'm gonna half moon it. So half moon it because I cut it in half from this. We cut the ends off, we cut it in half, and it ends up like that. Okay, so when you cut it, you're gonna get that shape. So I call that a half moon. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is get us a skillet. This is the perfect size skillet. You see that it's deep. So what I like about this skillet is it's deep. It's stainless steel. If you put just the right amount of coating on it, your stuff will slide out of it, but it's not non-stick. So you gotta kind of add a little bit more liquid in your pan. Everything to cook with is cast iron. Love it. It crisps everything up. It fries really well. It's a great thing to use, okay? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get our grease hot. Some standard vegetable oil. You also wanna cut this on, your light, your fan. All right, so I'm gonna save this, but moving on. We have some flour. I love white lily. It's self-rising, so it almost has like leavening agents in it that help rise that fluffy texture on the outside of whatever you fry. So I'm gonna see if we have any more cornstarch or breadcrumbs in this building. All right, we are all out of cornstarch, but what I do have is baking powder. So baking powder actually will fry as well. You can use this as an entire coating for fried chicken. I make a Korean fried chicken, and it's literally dipped in either cornstarch or baking powder. So we'll add that to our flour mixture to give it a little bit more texture. Okay, get you a good bowl, stainless steel bowl. No measurements required. You're gonna throw this out when you're done. Get you one more bowl for egg. Okay. So I got some brown eggs that I brought with me. Only need one. So I got one egg. Gonna crack that in here. Got a whisk. Now you can either use water or milk in this, but it's not going to affect it either way. Preferably, you know, most people use milk. I'm gonna use water. So just give me a second to add that. So we add in a little water. Set this off to the side. We got our flour mixture. We're gonna add in our baking powder. We're gonna add in our seasoning, which is a Cajun Mexican seasoning. This has Mexican chili powder in it, cilantro, some black peppercorn, salt, cayenne, ancho chili peppers, so it's some of everything. It's actually not as spicy as it sounds. It's 60% smoked paprika. So we wanna go ahead and just toss that in there. Now you can do one of two things. You can either salt your zucchini fries now, or when they come out of the fryer. I like to do both because I want my fries to basically I want that seasoning to penetrate the fries before they hit the grease, but I also want them to taste pretty seasoned once they get out. So I'm gonna sprinkle a little salt. Now what I'm using is Himalayan salt. It has 85 minerals in it. Looks just like this. You can buy it from Kroger. It's the fine kind. They also have a coarse version of that as well. So we want to dip these directly into the eggs. We're going to turn our grease back up. Let's see. Tongs. So you just want to coat these into that egg mixture, which, like I said, this is literally just water and a brown egg. But you can do milk, heavy cream. Like I said, I am working with my own ingredients, so I didn't stop at anyone's store. I kind of like to do this though, like go in my refrigerator, see what I have, and make like the most random dish with it. The other day, I literally had some corn, some potatoes, I had an onion, some garlic, and I made potato soup. So, you know, just a couple ingredients, and I like to showcase some of those smaller dishes, easier dishes to do. So I want to go ahead and put that in the flour. It is a little bit of a messy process. That's all about being in the kitchen. So you can kind of see that. We can hear that grease crackling behind me. So in a minute, it will be ready to drop the zucchini fries in. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys. I know you can't taste them. Break. So you want to kind of clean up in between whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, so we have our zucchini fries right here that are battered. I'm going to stick them in this little bowl. I don't know if you guys are aware, but it is the National Safety Month. part of being safe is also being clean. Unfortunately, we all can't be here together, but you know, it's kind of due to that, right? So we want to make sure that we're staying as safe as possible when we can. Okay, so we're going to check our grease. I like to stand on the right side of the handle. So you want to make sure that your handle is completely out of the way. I have walked past pots and pans on a stove, almost knocked them over because of that handle. So you want to make sure that your handle's out of the way. You want to make sure your grease is the right temperature, which you can stick a thermometer in there. You're looking for at least like around 185. But I can just tell, you can kind of see a small bubble in the grease, like a ripple almost, a wave in the grease. And when it gets to that point, it's about time to drop those in. Okay, so we're gonna test one of them out with one of our fries, zucchini fry. It's hot, but it's not as hot as it should be. I don't know if you can see into that or not. But you get the point. So it's kind of difficult to show super up close shots, but I will figure that part of it out. Let me adjust this. All right, so our grease is on. I like to just kind of move it back and forth. And what that does is it kind of makes that grease hit the top of the fry and underneath. So it's more of an even fry. So you just kind of move it back and forth like that. And that will kind of just weight it a little bit rather than using a tongue or a spoon, which will break the breading apart. So you want to make sure you do that. So now I feel like it's hot enough. We can drop all of these in. So we're going to go ahead and drop in our zucchini fries. All of those are in. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes. Not a very long process at all. It's a healthy snack. Goes great with literally anything, but you can just eat them by themselves. So this is basically parchment paper. I love using parchment paper or wax paper instead of paper towels. Better absorption. It doesn't take all the moisture out of the food. All right, while that's cooking, we're gonna make a quick sauce. It's a dipping sauce. We got some garlic, we got some sriracha, and some mayonnaise. Okay, you can use whatever favorite products that you have in mind. That is what I'm going to use today. This tool right here, I like to call it a waiter. Literally, you could just go straight underneath everything, pick everything up. That grease is going to drown right out of that. It's amazing. It's great for flipping as well. You can go under it and flip the product over. This thing right here, that's going to be your hook. I like to set this right here onto the stove handles, the oven handles. Easiest place to store it, okay? I like mine a little bit darker. Personally, if they're too light, the batter will fall off. So you want them to be a little crunchy. Drain that grease. Kind of tilt it, drain it off, drop it onto your paper. So this is our finished product here. Now you want to grab one cutting board and one spoon. Got our garlic. Now, personally, I like to pop this in the microwave. It's gonna take me about 40 seconds. Or if you want them softer, 1 minute to 2 minutes. So we'll do that. It will help it pop out of its cloves and take that peel right off. All right, so you don't wanna leave this in there too long. If you do, it will burn. So we got our garlic. Take it off at the base right here. So you wanna literally take the knife and take that part of it off. That's gonna be your root. Go slow. Now you can kind of see the inside of that garlic. As you see, now that I did that, skin comes right off. It actually comes off in layers. If you stick your finger right in the right spot of that layer, you can peel most of it off. But what I like to do is take that off and then try to push all of these garlic out of their little shells. Okay, so you literally just squeeze it, pop it out. Squeeze it, pop it out. Now, if we didn't microwave this, what we're doing would not be possible, okay? It doesn't happen that easy. Number one thing people struggle with in the kitchen: dicing onions and mincing garlic. Move all that out the way. I like to try and slice them first. They're a little bit easier to go over, so you just want to take that knife and rock it back and forth. Now, what helps with this process normally is a little bit of oil. I would prefer to use olive oil, but like I said, I brought these ingredients in myself. So you want to take all of that, and you can kind of see the texture. All right, so once we get it like that, you want to keep going over it. A little bit of salt, a little bit of oil. You can also roast these the garlic inside the oven. Pop it in the oven, pull it out, pop it out of the shell, same way, but the oven makes it softer. And it also takes a longer time to cook it, so slower sometimes is better. Now that we've got that done, we grab our bowl. Got you a spoon. Scoop that off into your bowl. Take that knife and get the rest. Okay. Got our mayonnaise. Good way to shake it up. Got a little sriracha. You do want to shake this really well. All right, this is the brand I like to use. Freaking love it. I made some tacos last week, and I'm real simple. Just made my meat, sour cream, cheese, and a little bit of this, but my meat has a bunch of stuff in it. So, let me tell you, the sriracha sauce, it is spicy. I was thinking about making a habanero, like honey peach barbecue sauce, because I saw a recipe for that, and I was like, if I smoke my peaches on my grill, that can come out really good. a bit of this in here. You want the color of it to change. I'm even gonna add a little bit of this extra kick right here. This is the hell of seasoning. Don't be salty, get seasoned. This is my own seasoning. Love it for those that were not on the call. You can see that. Put a little bit of that in there. It's like a 6-spice Mexican seasoning. I'm gonna just stir that up. So we got our garlic in there. You know what would just be amazing right now is some brown mustard. If I could add some brown mustard into this, so you just stir that up. Stir, stir, stir. Okay. That's it, y'all. Okay, that's the texture you're looking for. All right, so what do y'all think? We're gonna make zucchini fries at home? Let's taste these things, see what they taste like. All right, I'm going in. See, it's fried. Doesn't really have a whole lot of flimsiness to it. Just dip that in there. It's amazing. I wish I can share with you right now, but I'm kind of enjoying this a little bit.